This was part of that Maya Road haul that I got from the warehouse. And so it's the Maya Road Clear Acrylic 3x3 Accordion album. Now, what I do with this, see this one has, let's see here, it has all these sheets and they're meant to fold in and out like an accordion. But my brain just can't work that way with them being separate pieces, and I always end up putting embellishments where my little circles need to be. So the first thing I usually do on an album like this is I go ahead and assemble it with all the hardware. So I'm going to put all of these rings, sorry for the noise, I'm going to put all of these rings onto the album itself before I even start putting the project together. So these are just those little rings that you can use some pliers and open them. I'm going to have to go find my pliers here. And they go into these little holes. Now you'll notice on these albums they look kind of filmy. Well, that's because there is a film on them. I already started peeling some of them back, otherwise you and I will be here forever just watching me peel this album. What I do is I first assemble the album. I do not pull this off until I'm actually working on the page itself. So if I have any that get caught in the circles, I'll just cut them with my scissors as I go. But I like to keep the acrylic protected as long as possible until I actually start working on that page. So I'll peel those off as I go. But let me go get my pliers and we'll start putting this project together. So I'm going to show you what I started working with to put this project together. I've already kind of laid out the idea so it doesn't take me quite as long, but I'm using that nonsense paper again. It's the same paper line and trim line from We Are Memory Keepers that I showed the Your Story albums out of that I had made. Again, it's We Are Memory Keepers and their whiteout collection. It's called, here it is, it's called Nonsense. The pack is called Nonsense, and then the individual papers also have their own name. So that's what I'm using. I have different pieces of chipboard left over as well as paper. So I'm just trying to use up a lot of the scraps and different fibers that I have. Now it just happens that the colors in this paper line also work well with the little birdies that I got out of the Maya Road haul. Again, that was in this tin here from Maya Road, and they're full of little birdies. So I don't know how many of these I'll use, but they're the trinket beads, birds of a feather, because this paper line has birds in it as well. I also have a lot of fiber, so I'm going to try to incorporate some of this fiber. It matches the Nonsense kit. These are the Maya Road felt flowers. What are these called again? Felt beaded blossoms. And again, this is the color that matches the paper line. So I may use one or two of those in this project as well. I'm on the front cover going to use the lollipop flower that I made from my previous video. So see that if you want to see that. Now the other thing I did was I used these two dies for my Sizzix. One is the slide mounts, the other one is the frames stamp combo. So what those cut out are these little guys. So like on the, what was it, the slide mounts, these are the slide mounts, and it cuts out 4 different shapes of slide mounts. Now to get the texture on my cardboard, I ran it through the the Sizzix Big Shot again with my Cuttlebug folders. So this one is the polka dot folder from Cuttlebug, and this one is the Divine Swirl by Cuttlebug. So I ran those through, and that's what gave these guys the texture that they have. So we're going to heat emboss these, we're going to ink these, whatever it takes to make them match this project as much as possible. Also, I like to edge my acrylic albums with the Tim Holtz alcohol inks. So these are the colors that I pulled from my stash that I think kind of match this paper pretty well. I think on the front page we're going to start with the blue.